All right, folks, it might be the offseason, but we got major Bears news on multiple fronts, so let's get into it. Welcome back to Bears Yard. This your boy Vipe, and yesterday, right before the Super Bowl began, the Chicago Bears named their new offensive coordinator. They did not go outside of the organization to bring this guy in. He is already in the organization. He is former passing game coordinator Press Taylor. Yes, Press Taylor is now the Chicago Bears' new offensive coordinator, and that brought a lot of moans and groaning from social media yesterday. But let me just calm y'all down. Yes, we know that Press Taylor was the former offensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that tenure really didn't go all that well, even though I think he led Trevor Lawrence to his first Pro Bowl season at quarterback down there, so it wasn't all bad for Press Taylor. But Press Taylor is an innovative offensive mind. He's a young up-and-comer. He was responsible for the Philly special when he was down there working in Philadelphia behind Doug Peterson, and then he went with him to Jacksonville and whatnot. So Press Taylor, he's 38, he's up-and-coming, and I don't know why people are moaning and groaning about this promotion, because we know that Press Taylor is not going to call plays. He is going to be the table setter for Ben Johnson, much like Declan Doyle was when Doyle was here. Press Taylor is going to handle the day-to-day operations Monday through Saturday for the Bears, making sure that the offense gets installed, the players understand what's going on, answering their questions, making sure they're doing what they got to do. And then on Sunday, we know that Ben Johnson is going to call the play because that is what he does. So all of the consternation about Press Taylor being the offensive coordinator, I need y'all to dial it down, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. It is still Ben Johnson's show. It is still Ben Johnson's offense, and Ben Johnson is still the primary play caller on Sunday afternoons. Press Taylor is just the offensive coordinator in name. But the other cool thing about this move is that it gives the Bears continuity. So Caleb Williams doesn't have to learn a new face, and things on the offensive side can stay continuous and smooth motion. You don't have to bring somebody in from the outside to teach them how things are going on, because Press Taylor already knows what's happening. Plus, with his previous center coordinator not going too well and down there in Jacksonville per se, I don't think people are going to be thirsty to poach him like they were Declan Doyle. I think Press Taylor can stay in the role probably a year, maybe 2 or 3, probably be here longer than Declan Doyle was, because again, with his thing not going the best in Jacksonville, he's not going to be one getting approached like by all the thirst mongers out there of the NFL. So it's a good move by Ben Johnson, gives us that continuity, and we keep moving. Year 3, Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson. It's about to be a movie. Actually, year 2, but year 3 for Caleb. It's a movie. Here we come. But that was not the only major Bears news that came down. As in about, a few hours ago, we got some news on the stadium front. Now, on this channel, I don't really talk about the stadium much, because at this point, it's still vaporware, because we still don't have shows in the ground. But I feel like this latest update is something that I want to bring to your attention, because we finally seem to have movement. So y'all know me, I have bemoaned Kevin Warren and his lack of action on this stadium stuff for the time that he's been here, right? It's been, almost 3 years now he's been here. He arrived in 2023. We still don't have shovels in the ground. But a large part of the holdup has been the state of Illinois and their unwillingness to give the Bears certain things that they need to move ahead with the stadium building. So the Chicago Bears have always maintained that they will pay up front to build the stadium. Like the cost of actually building the stadium, the Bears are going to handle. What the Bears are looking for from Illinois is assistance with the infrastructure, all the roads, metros, and not metros, the road, public transportation, park, and all that stuff. The infrastructure around the stadium is something the Bears were looking for Illinois with help. And also, property tax considerations that the Bears need from Illinois, because right now the state of Illinois, again, have been unwilling to talk to the Bears about these things. And the way the property tax will work for the Bears is kind of ridiculous. They would have to pay $100 million property tax. Like, nobody in the country is doing that. It's out of control. Well, things got a little spicy about a month or so ago when the state of Indiana entered the chat. The state of Indiana has a bill in place that will practically do the whole thing for the Chicago Bears. The state of Indiana has a bill in place that will have Indiana building a stadium and the Bears just renting it out until they pay off the rent dues or whatever, and then the Bears will own the stadium outright. This Indiana bill has already passed through their Senate. The last step is for it to pass through the Indiana House of Representatives, and once that happens, it will be a go time and live. And that could happen as soon as February 27th, because that's when the Indiana legislature ends, whatever. That's when they're going to make the decision on the bill. So I feel like the state of Illinois realizing that Indiana is a credible threat. They are really in danger of losing the Bears to Indiana if they don't act fast, which is why there seems to be some type of deal in place now, or there are rumblings of a deal being close to being in place for the state of Illinois and the Bears to finally come together to the table to keep the Bears in Arlington Heights, because that's the site that the Bears will build on, Arlington Heights. But if this Indiana bill, I shouldn't say if, when this Indiana bill passes on the 27th, that will be ball game. All the Bears would have to do at that point is say yes to Indiana, and Indiana could put shovels in the ground probably this summer at this point. So if Illinois doesn't get their act together and give the Bears something credible by February 27th, there is a very, very real possibility that the Chicago Bears will be no longer in Chicago. And let me tell you all something. It's funny, I'm at work and I have some Bears fans at work and they're like, we're not watching the Bears anymore if they go to Indiana, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, that is not how that works. There are TVs still live. There's going to be just as many Bears fans if the Bears move to Indiana. There's a lot of people, including my man Greg Bragg Jr. from CHGO, who lives in Northwest Indiana, who will be happy to welcome the Bears to Northwest Indiana. I don't know if y'all understand, but Northwest Indiana is a big Bear territory anyway. I know the Indianapolis coast is down there in Indiana, but in Northwest Indiana, that is Chicago Bears country. So they are going to love this move if it were to happen. But if this happens, if the state of Illinois loses the Chicago Bears to Indiana, reputations are about to be ruined, y'all. Ruined. J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, who have presidential aspirations, forget about it. You lose the Bears to Indiana, it's over, son. You have no chance of winning the presidency. Done. Mayor Johnson of Chicago, you lose the Bears to Indiana, your career done. There's no chance of re-election. Forget about it. I mean, it might not be much of a chance of winning anyway, because I don't think a lot of people are happy with the job that he's doing. But you lose the Bears to Indiana, it's over, son. Get out. So both of these dudes who have major skin in this game better figure out how to keep the Bears in Illinois, because if they lose the Bears to Indiana, both of their political careers are over. Done. There's no coming back. The Chicago Bears are one of the charter franchises of the NFL in one of the biggest cities in the world, the third largest media market in the country. You do not want to lose the Chicago Bears to Indiana and be responsible for that loss. Your career will never come back from that type of stain. That is a stain you can't wipe off. It's over with. You're done. So Illinois, Pritzker, Johnson, whoever is in those talks, they better figure it out. They got about 3 weeks because, again, like I said earlier, Indiana is getting this thing done. They're deciding this decision through the House on the 27th of this month. And Illinois have been dragging their feet for 3 years with this. And Indiana came in here with a sledgehammer, put Illinois in a chokehold, and now it's up to Illinois to see if they can escape the chokehold before Illinois has to tap out and Indiana ultimately wins the Chicago Bears stadium and the Bears move to Indiana. But Bear fans, how are you feeling about the stadium talk? How are you feeling about Press Taylor being the new offensive coordinator? Drop a comment and subscribe to The Yard for all things Chicago Bears.